Let's go.
Oh, I think I got lost.
Oh, hang on. We went down.
Oh, yeah, I missed that. I missed that.
Oh my god! Run!
This is Lethal Company. It's a new co-op indie horror game that came out recently, and it's one of the funniest I've ever played.
8 AM.
Alright, I guess we're going in, fellas.
The fuck is
This
Oh, it's just water. Ah! So I was just looking at our dead bodies through there. I love it. And it's this game that's pushed me to finally finish this video, which I've been working on and off for several months at this point, because every time I get my hands on a really good, cheap co-op indie horror game like this one, I want to talk about it until I remember how long a video essay takes to make, that is. Because you see, I am a massive fan of games like these. You know the ones. They appear on Steam out of nowhere, charged between $2 and $15 a copy, and are billed as co-op horror games. Things like Lethal Company or Devour, Labyrinthine, Pacify, or one of the dozens of Backrooms games are all good examples of this genre, but I would argue they're good for a different reason than you might be thinking. Oftentimes when a new one of these comes out and appears on Steam's new and trending tab, 4 or more of us will drop the $5 entry fee and give it a whirl. Roughly 80% of the time, however, we end up just closing it and refunding the game because so many of these games are just bad. They're just so bad, and again, not for the reason you might be thinking. So let's sit down and talk about what I think is one of the biggest and yet most underappreciated genres in games today. One which somehow contains some of the best games I've ever played, yet is mostly filled with absolute junk. What makes one of these cheap indie horror games good? Why are so many of these games bad? And how can these bad games also be good? Can these good games be bad but good? Good but bad games, bad but game good, good bad game but game bad good but game bad. But before we get into it, we need to thank today's sponsor. That's right, it's War Thunder, baby! War Thunder is the biggest vehicle combat game ever made, with over 2,000 playable tanks, ships, planes, and helicopters in dynamic combined arms PvP battles. Each vehicle is built and modeled right down to the nuts and bolts, making the whole game as immersive as possible. But hey, you don't need a $1,000 joystick to have the best flight experience. You can fly any aircraft using nothing more than your run-of-the-mill mouse and keyboard thanks to the game's mouse aim mode. Whether you're looking for a fast-paced, action-packed match or something slower, more realistic, more tactical, War Thunder offers both varieties to fit your playstyle. One of my favorite ways to play is to take a tank destroyer and lie in ambush on the capture point. Nothing better than catching your enemies by surprise. So play War Thunder for free now on your PC, Xbox One or Series X and S, and PlayStation 4 and 5 using my link down below. New players and those who haven't played in 6 months can claim a huge bonus pack with multiple premium vehicles, a premium account, an exclusive 3D decorator, and more for a limited time. Thanks again to War Thunder for sponsoring this video, and let's jump right in. Before we take it from the top, I just want to throw in the obligatory, this is all just my opinion label here. Despite what a quick Google search may tell you, I wouldn't really call myself a game developer, even if I have made a bunch of them over the years. What's gonna follow is just my own observations and feelings about this specific genre of games. And boy, I have played a lot of these games. Some good, many bad. And honestly, part of the reason I'm making this video is because every time we play them, I end up recording it, meaning I have a lot of very funny footage that I won't get to use anywhere outside a video like this one.
Leatherface.
Leatherface.
Oh my god,
Oh,
that's
spooky.
beautiful.
Oh, it's spooky.
Oh, they're all over the place. Look. Oh, they're beautiful. Am I dying?
What? What's going on?
What?
Read the wall. Read the wall, Links. Read the wall.
Yeah, read it out.
Turn
Out
on
loud.
flashlight. It can't.
I think it found us before we could even Okay, so first, we need to more narrowly define what exactly we're talking about here, because bad, good, cheap indie horror game is a very broad category, and I'm not going to sit here and repeat that entire sentence every time throughout this video. First, we should split these games into 2 groups, single player and multiplayer. I'm not really going to be talking about single player here much at all, since what makes a single player horror game good is very different than a multiplayer one. Sure, they've got a lot of crossover, atmosphere, graphics, sound, tension, you know, but all these factors are rendered entirely different by the simple fact that you are not alone. When you play one of these games with your friends, you feel safer, protected. It just feels entirely different. So we're going to bin single player games and just put all of the focus onto multiplayer. With that out of the way, I now present to you the trademarked Valefisk Good Bad Horror Game Diagram TM. I made sure to put my name on it, so when it ends up in game dev textbooks, I'll be remembered forever. While there are a lot of different things to consider when we're talking about what makes a game good, there are two main factors that I think matter the most. For it to be good, it needs to excel at least one of these, otherwise it's going to fall flat on its face. First, the scary factor. This is self-explanatory on the surface, but like I glossed over a moment ago, it is very difficult to make a multiplayer horror game actually instill terror in its players, so we'll dive into this shortly and take a look at some games that succeed here. The other factor, which I think is much more important than the game being scary, is the funny factor, or maybe the fun factor. This is the biggest thing I feel people miss when looking at whether or not one of these games is good. Your game could be the scariest thing on the planet, but if it's seriously dull to play and or is lacking some big funnies, then it's just gonna suck. Again, remember, we're solely talking about multiplayer horror games. PT, for example, is absolutely not fun to play. Fuck, I'm just shitting my pants thinking about it again. Is it shitting? It is, isn't it? It's shitting. Whatever that is, it's shitting on the floor.
Me whenever I drink milk.
And yet, it's still the best piece of horror media I have ever seen. But anyway, that's what we're looking out for. Our two big factors. Is it funny? Is it scary? Or is it both? Before we get into some examples, I'm going to coin a phrase to describe this specific genre because I'm not about to spend the rest of this video saying co-op indie horror game over and over again. The two obvious choices are either SIG or MIG, and I'm going to go with MIG. Let's start with the lesser of the two factors, the spook. I want to start here since it's usually what a MIG is doing its best to focus on, though much more often than not, it fails. The vast majority of these games are just not scary. With MIGs, there's two main game formulas that they'll follow, and yes, I'm about to generalize all of them very heavily. Some of them have unique features with which they stick out, but at the moment, they mainly fall into one of two categories. They could be following the traditional formula, the one that Slenderman made popular way back in 1912. These are games that drop you into some spooky location with one or more spooky creatures, and all you're really doing is running around collecting items or solving meaningless puzzles. What the MIG is trying to do is distract you by giving you an incentive. It's giving you a goal, you know, something to work towards. Because what it wants you to do is get out there and interact with whatever spooky creatures the artists have come up with. Alien Isolation is a fantastic horror game, but it would be a lot less scary if you never had any reason to leave a locker. The better and more often a MIG can pull you out of safety and into a raging fire, the scarier it's going to be. And if you want to be really clever, you could find a way to tie the incentive to the monsters themselves, so that you're forced to interact with them. Ever heard of mild indie success Phasmophobia? Of course you have. Even if you have never played it, you have seen the effects of Phasmo's success ripple across a lot of different games. The biggest being that Phasmo popularized the other formula that the standard MIG follows, which I'm just going to call the Phasmo clone. The goal in Phasmophobia is to identify what kind of ghost is haunting the location you've been sent to investigate. Each ghost has a handful of unique traits that you can identify them by, and you're given a big bucket of tools to help you nail them down. Maybe your EMF meter is going off the charts, or the room begins freezing and you can see your breath, or maybe the ghost lets out a massive fart every 35 seconds. Doesn't matter. You watch, you mark it all down in the journal, guess what ghost ghost you're dealing with and leave in the van. If you guess right, you win and collect the money. Guess wrong and you get nothing. Phasmophobia is certainly not the first game to do it, but the way it ties its incentive into the ghosts themselves is so clean. If you want to win the game, you can't just sit in the van. And you're not running around the map collecting items wondering when the spooky being TM is gonna pop out and jump scare you. No, if you want to win, you have to actively go and find the ghost yourself. And that, in my opinion, is what's made Phasmo so successful and pretty scary. Uh-oh. Well, that was kind of spooky. Now, this video is not a review of Phasmophobia, but Phasmo is not perfect, and I want to use its failings to illustrate my point a bit better. For one, I don't think Phasmo is actually that fun to play. Despite the variation in ghosts and locations, the game itself doesn't really change. You enter a building with some tools, wander around until you bump into some ghoul, start working on eliminating the possibilities, blah blah blah. Eventually the hunt starts and he snaps at least one neck. Rinse and repeat until you've either won the game, given up, or you're all dead. But that's alright. The game doesn't need to be fun to play to succeed, as long as it's scary, right? Well, like I mentioned before, the fact that Phasmophobia is multiplayer means it's never going to be as scary as a dedicated single-player horror game. Hell, I actually think Phasmo is a lot scarier if you just boot it up in single-player, since, after all, it's just how our monkey brains work. We feel a lot safer from predators when standing together in a big group, you know, outside in the savannah in total darkness. And so when there's 4 of you standing around in a room waiting for the ghost to do something, it's just not that scary. To the game's credit, it does make an effort in trying to split your team up, just not very well. Some ghosts, for example, will only respond to the player if they're alone, but that's pretty easy to circumvent, since you can just be waiting right outside the room or area the ghost is roaming in. Some of the maps are gigantic, meaning if you want to catch the ghost in a reasonable time, you're gonna have to split up. But this also means the map is so big that you end up spending like 30 minutes walking around empty hallways trying to find the ghost. So at the end of the day, you're not gonna split up much. You'll each take one of each tool so you can bring them all in at once and go into the room together. As long as one person makes it out and back to the van alive, you can still win the game. So what could they have done better? Well, in Phasmophobia's case, I honestly don't know. If I did, I would have made my own Phasmo clone and raked in millions by now. But if we're talking about a traditional MIG, well, I know a game with a solution. Some of you may remember Labyrinthine from a while ago, but the game has changed a lot since that video, and we played it a few times more since. Lab is an adherent to the ancient MIG formula. Each level in the campaign is a spoopy location made out of pre-built blocks, and you run around trying to solve a puzzle or find keys or parts for a machine or whatever bullshit it is. All the while one or more interestingly animated creatures chase after you. That said, Labyrinthine is really not scary at all. Instead, it wins hard on the funny factor, so we'll get more into the game in a bit. But there's one thing that Labyrinthine has that I've never seen any other MIG do, and I need to mention it here, and it's this. Why did you say England? What? Oh! Oh!
Oh, hey, Bill.
No! Look, this is infinitely worse if it's just one person.
I know.
Oh no. See, I'm okay if there's multiple people, but this game, I hate this game. I really hate this game now. That's actually so... Oh?
No, it actually split us up. I hate this.
Oh, fuck. Found you.
No, we'll rub it you.
Oh, are you kidding? This is what happened last time. Links. No! Alright, see you later, Links. Have fun.
No!
That's right. At certain points around the maze, there's a trigger. When one of you walks through it, it immediately seals a door that you didn't know was there, cutting you off from the rest of the group. In a maze-like layout, this is so fucking genius. I'm so desperate for someone who makes these games to take this and make this a popular method for splitting players up. Oh, you're fucking kidding me.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's doing it again. It's so
unlucky, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's with you though, and not me. Oh, there he is. I'll see you later, Saul. Because by doing this, you're able to make the game single player for someone for a brief while until they link back up with the rest of the group. And if you've pulled off the spooky factor well enough, the game can actually become scary. That said, while this is really cool, it's not implemented the best here. A number of times it took mere seconds before the one who was split was able to rejoin the group, and sometimes the group is moving so fast that you all can make it through the door before it closes behind you, but the concept is brilliant. I love it. The only time this game was actually scary for me was after I'd been cut off from the group like this. I see a stick. It's a glow stick there. This is where we were before I got killed. Hello? I don't. This is the problem with horror games. I'm fine if I'm in a group, but the moment I'm alone, I'm a complete. It's like alien isolation all over again. What? These fuckers are playing the game, and I'm not playing the game. I'm staying in the bush. This one is getting an honorable mention. It's not really a MIG per se, but it is definitely a horror game. One that pulls an interesting twist on the multiplayer problem. Fuck off, you hairy gremlin!
Like a popular game Slenderman, I'm in the woods.
Go away!
Did you know the Minecraft enemy Enderman is...
The game is simple. 4 of you are hunters entering dense woodland with a singular goal: hunting down and killing Bigfoot. You've got motion sensors, cameras, guns, drones, whatever tools you need. Bigfoot, on the other hand, is gonna be hunting you. He can easily 1v1 or 1v2 any of you, but if you work together in a group, you can take him down with the tools available. What makes this game worth talking about, however, is that Bigfoot does not have to be an AI. Bigfoot can be another player, and they too can use proximity voice chat to talk to you.
He's over there! He's over there!
There's no such thing as Bigfoot. It's not real. It's a figment of
not
your
real.
imagination. He's not real. He's not real. Where is he saying?
Why is he
No Mario. No Mario here.
No!
Now, your mileage with something like this is going to vary greatly, because for the experience to really hit home, the person playing Bigfoot needs to be scary themselves. When we played it, we usually put my friend Teddy in as the Bigfoot, since he practically is one in real life.
Do you have a medkit, Vale?
Shh.
To stand like an Irishman. Like a big, hairy Irishman. You don't see it. Well, then one remains. Don't hunt.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
Numerous bears are spotted in this area. Please refrain from feeding the bears. The bears are a threat. Please do not feed the bears. They can bring great harm to you.
I actually made an entire video out of this game. It's available as patron only though, because frankly, the game is very dark and the proximity chat is very bad quality, so I decided it wasn't entirely fit for mass consumption. The prox chat does make the game very funny though.
I don't think I have any of that.
Continue to arrive at the airport. Britain's ambassador to the country says
Wait.
5,000 people will be...
Is he playing the BBC World Service? What is that noise?
Yes.
Well, you know, the Taliban have taken over Afghanistan.
Uh-oh.
The capital is falling. Audio jungle. Audio jungle. Audio jungle. Audio jungle.
Fuck off! I'm out of ammo. I'm out of ammo. Soul, I'm out of ammo. Soul, I'm out of ammo. Speaking of which, I need to make a quick note about proximity chat because it can make a game so much better if done well. Most MIGs will have a very short-range prox chat, so you can talk to people around you, and then some kind of long-distance radio so you can communicate with people further away. Most of these systems are pretty basic, but sometimes they amplify the experience brilliantly. We'll talk a little more about it when we round ourselves back to Lethal Company later.
The fuck is it?
Oh, it's just water. Ah!
I see a building.
I shouldn't have come in this. Am I gonna drown? What is this shit? It's time to move on to factor number 2, the funny. The most important factor. If a MIG is scary but not funny, it can feel kind of lame at times, especially if the gameplay isn't fun. But if the game is incredibly funny, it seriously does not matter how scary it is, because you and your friends will get all the enjoyment you need out of the comedy. This comedy might be intentional or might not be intentional. Since these are all indie games, it only takes a small chimpanzee with access to the Unity asset store and a credit card to make one. I would know since I've made a whole video where I made a really shitty Unity asset flip. And as if to illustrate my point here, I think it turned out pretty damn funny in the end.
This is outrageous. There's no way they're real. Where's Scotch gone? Am I on my own?
Now, the game does not need to be bad to be funny. Quite the opposite. We'll talk about some high-quality MIGs that really succeed, but before we get to them, let's talk about one that is not very high quality. And yet, it is, to this day, one of the best games I have ever played. This is Somewhere in the Shadow, a $2 MIG credited to just 2 people on Steam. It's easily the lowest quality game on the list. Everybody looks like Pitbull, the monsters are awful, and the gameplay involves running around in circles. But it is so fucking funny. Oh my god. I fucking hate you too.
Sounds like a Diplo song.
Found a screwdriver. What was that?
What was that novel? What was that? Spooky, right?
What's that? What's a weird JPEG?
It's spooky, right?
Did you see the JPEG?
Yeah, it's spooky. It's spooky. Stop playing with the door, you invertebrate. Put it away. Come on, follow Novel.
Boys.
Novel's got the screwdriver.
Boys.
Follow Novel.
What?
What is that noise?
Fucking wetting myself.
I got a live feed of you guys.
Oh, yeah, no. Okay, Novel, you gotta direct us in the dark now.
Oh, right, okay. So, it's really hard to know who is who. Through the door, yeah. Through, hold up. No, keep going forward.
It's really hard to see. Like, I can't
It's
actually...
pitch black. There
go
is no way
forward.
to see.
Keep going forward, yep. It's good. Take it right.
I am taking
right.
fucking rights.
You're cranking
fucking
that.
up.
I can't see shit, you dickhead!
Go forward. Forward now.
Well, my sensitivity's so high, I can't tell what's going on.
Wait. Go backwards.
Hang on, I'm turning down my sensitivity a little bit. Hang on.
Alright, don't move your mouse. Go backwards. Like, just go completely backwards. Oh my god, Among Us!
I got the... Oh, you see the Among Us?
Among Us!
You see the Among Us?
Novel, can
Hello?
you direct me, please?
Sorry, I'm in like a pitch black room and there's writing on the... oh,
What?
there's
No,
literally-
I'm still in the pitch black room, man. I'm not out.
We're in the pit. No, you need to direct us out of the room. Please,
just
don't
looking-
tell me you left. Don't tell me
wait.
you walked away from the monitor.
No. Dude, there's some fucking text on the fucking wall. It says, show them their way. Hold up.
Please!
Go right. Oh, go forward, right? No, wait, go back. When I said go right, just like keep staying away. Go left. Oh my god.
Spooky.
Jesus.
Ooh, spooky.
Oh, you're in the Among Us room. Okay, Bill.
Yeah,
go
it's
forward.
me. Yeah.
Go left. Oh, it's a vent. Oh, hold up. Go.
Oh, is
go
there a
forward.
vent? Okay.
Go, yeah.
Oh,
There.
Something just brushed
Oh,
past me in the
yeah,
dark.
Dude, a monkey just came out of that vent and then clipped through the fucking wall.
I think this game speaks for itself. Is it good? No, absolutely not. But it was so much fun to play that I have played it through 2 full times with multiple different people. And I still didn't reach 2 hours of play. So to sum this one up, S tier game, one of my favorites. It's fantastic. Please make more. All right, let's take a bit more time to get into why Labyrinthine is also S tier. Like I said before, this one really isn't that scary. It can be scary sometimes, but what it excels at is the funny factor. As a traditional MIG, your gameplay doesn't really go anywhere past running around a spooky location while the monster chases you. Puzzles range from collecting parts to finding a code to, well, whatever. It's very basic. The monsters are also not particularly enticing. They've gotten better as the game has received updates, but they still remain some random object with a weird running animation. But it sure looks funny, doesn't it? I'm throwing glow sticks at her.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's do
she's
it.
a hitbox. Look. Look.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
The way that
I don't trust a Thor here.
Headshot. Headshot.
And that's the key. None of this stuff is scary, but by making you do mundane things while Peppa Pig's dad chases you around with a big knife, the tension is high enough to keep the blood pumping. Meanwhile, everything is hilarious. From the bad animations, goofy sound effects and puzzles, to proximity chat being cut off when someone dies, it's amazing.
Oh my
Yo,
god.
it's fucking Valheim. Oh, and Novel's eaten.
Fucking Valheim looking ass. Dude, how we can... Woo!
It's just coming around the fire.
It's like idle animation.
He's holding down auto run and he's going back
It's
and
still
forth.
here.
What do we do?
What?
Oh, fuck. Hang on. Sorry. Oh, Soul. I'm sorry.
Could you just stay right there?
Labyrinthine has both a campaign mode and a procedural mode. You can actually play a new version of every level, procedurally generated on the fly out of those pre-built chunks. But since the gameplay itself isn't particularly engaging, I've never found a reason to play this mode over the campaign itself. Speaking of which, there's one level in particular I need to talk about. You know, the one from Left 4 Dead 2. When we played Labyrinthine for the first time, this level wasn't released yet. So when we heard there'd been a new update and a new level, we decided to hop back in and give it a go since we'd had so much fun the first time. Absent-mindedly deciding to not record this session of game is one of the biggest YouTube regrets I have. Because frankly, this level was fucking incredible. There he is! There he is.
Oh, throw glow
There
sticks
is.
at him. Here, are you guys ready?
Big Croy.
You guys ready?
There we go.
Alright, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna do it again.
Oh my god. Oh, that animation.
Oh, I want to see somebody else with that animation.
Yeah, here, come here, come here, come here. Come to me,
no,
crocodile.
Revive! Oh shit.
Oh my god.
Ah!
somebody else.
The entire level is like this, and actually ended up taking us nearly 3 hours to complete because of its difficulty. Eventually, the game saw its full release, adding some more levels and adding in a proper story and ending. That's where we'll leave Labyrinthine though. We've kind of reached the point of the video where I think I've made my point, but there's still some more games I want to talk about, so let's do a rapid fire round. The Backrooms games are fine. They're all more or less the same and are mainly carried by the IP, if you could call Backrooms an IP at this point. They can be pretty funny, but also pretty frustrating to play, so 5 out of 10. Devour is another classic MIG that I made a video on years ago. Every now and again, it comes out with a new map, a new monster, and a new puzzle. I think it's still pretty good on both the scary and the funny factor. It can be pretty goofy while giving the occasional jump scare. If you've never played it before, I would definitely recommend it.
Probably. Oh no!
You can go first this time, maybe. I went in the basement first,
you can go.
You're pushing me up the stairs. You fucking coward.
No, I don't want it! Let me go!
The only way out is forward, baby. You gotta go up the stairs. I have played a shit ton of Phasmophobia clones, with some of them being worth recommending. If you want a bad one, there's Obsidio, which is fucking hilarious. And each ghost has a gigantic list of nonsense it can do. The object manipulation is pretty neat. Forewarned might be my favorite one of these since it puts a good twist on it. You have to retrieve a treasure from an Egyptian tomb while also being hunted by a ghost you have to identify. People who get killed by either traps or the ghost get to come back as a mummy. And you get to pick whether you're a good mummy who can spot treasures through walls and help the team, or a bad mummy that actively trolls you and does damage. It also keeps the proximity chat active but distorts your voice, which is pretty fun. Speaking of fun, let's round this video out where we started, Lethal Company. Honestly, I don't think I played a game that so perfectly lands between the two factors. In Lethal Company, you and your friends crew a salvage ship, landing on different planets and entering massive superstructures to retrieve junk. You have a quota to meet every 3 days, and if you fail to get enough scrap, you'll all be spaced and the game is over.
Okay.
As you have not met the profit quota, your performance has been deemed below standard.
I think we're being killed.
Welcome to our disciplinary
It's over.
process.
I think they're gonna kiss us. Yep.
Yeah. I won't show off too much from this game since I think you, yes you, shitting in the toilet right there, I see you, you should play it yourself. But hopefully I can give you a taste to entice you into picking this one up. The game has a fantastic personality. I don't know what it is, but it's just so fucking funny, man.
We trust you will be a great asset to the company. Great asset to the company. Asset. Great asset to the company. Asset. Great asset.
Oh.
It's not very... Why are you dancing?
Well, it's coming down.
Don't worry, guys. I found it. Let's see.
Why is it?
Why is it from Christmas music? It also makes great use of the proximity chat. It's a very close range and you can get separated and lost in these buildings very easily, but realizing that somebody's neck has been snapped mid-sentence by something you didn't know was there is pretty damn scary.
If there is. Behind my... Oh my god, we really went through a fucking...
Yeah.
Let's go.
I think I got lost.
Oh, hang on. We went down.
Oh, I missed that. I missed that.
Oh my god! Run!
Oh!
Well, fuck. Why? How did that get between us? I turned around for 5 seconds.
What was it?
Speaking of which, the creatures in Lethal Company range from goofy to downright horrifying. Some of them will sneak up on you and murder the person in the back or the front, and suddenly they're just gone. Some of them, like the schizophrenia girl, can only be seen by one person at a time, causing confusion and panic until the person with schizophrenia is killed and she swaps targets. It's so perfect. And since it's so unbelievably easy to die, the game kind of avoids the group problem, since so often you'll be deep inside the structure and suddenly find yourself alone after everyone around you has just been killed, and you know that you're next.
Back.
Oh, is there stuff down here? Wait. It looks like there's stuff down there on the shelf, right?
Can they just fucking disappear?
What?
No, I'm standing right here.
Oh, just
okay.
Links disappeared.
Links disappeared.
What? The incentive is perfect as well, since you do usually have some way to deal with the creatures you encounter, although this is usually with some equipment you'll have to buy first. You don't get too bored running around looking for scrap to pick up, and sometimes picking up certain scrap turns out to be a very, very bad idea. Oh! Beehive. Okay.
Oh, maybe don't go
Not gonna walk on that.
Grab the hive! It's worth money!
Ah!
It's worth money! Go,
run
go,
for
go,
links!
go, go, run,
He's got the
run, run,
honey!
run, run,
He's
run,
got
run,
the honey!
Fail's dead!
Well,
I would have loved a bit more variation in the structures, but they're all procedural, so I get why they're the same. Overall, it's an easy recommend. If you've got some friends to check this one out with, you won't be disappointed. So, to sum up, what was the point of this video? Honestly, I forget. I just love MIGs, man. There's nothing like sitting down on a Saturday night, popping open a cold one with the boys and screaming into our mics as a Unity asset chases us around a maze. And as you've seen, I had a lot of good quality footage to use and it had to go somewhere. If you ever plan on making a MIG yourself, here's my advice. Don't spend too long trying to make it scary. At the end of the day, the scariest thing for any player is whatever their imagination will come up with. When I made my own torture horror game Crypt a while ago, I took this idea to heart by making the monster stalk the player before it tried to chase them. But since I made the game so quickly, this wasn't implemented very well.
Oh my god. The fuck was that? What the fuck was that? But there's something, I swear I saw something over there in the doorway, man.
What did you see?
A fucking being of some description. Someone tells me I was fucking right. Jesus Christ. Oh my god! What is this beast?
What do you mean, Lynx? It's scary, right? Isn't it scary?
Oh, what a spooky beard. What a spooky beard.
But it did mean that everyone playing it was incredibly tense while walking around. They had no idea what to expect, so their brain was just on edge the entire time. If you're making one of these, look to maximize that quality as much as possible. But more than that, just make it funny. If it's cheap and it's multiplayer, people are gonna be playing this with their friends, and giving them something to laugh over will always be more successful than trying to scare them. But, you know, that's just my opinion, man. I would again like to thank War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Make sure to go get the game on the platform of your choice, and remember to use my link in the description to get all the free goodies they've got on offer. Also, big thank you to all of my patrons who make my content possible. I think I'm gonna make like, well, there's your problem, and start announcing what my next video will 100% definitely be at the end here. So stay tuned for my full Let's Play of Campaign for North Africa, my most requested video. Truly one of the games of all time. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you next time.